Hey guys, it's Kevin again. This is going to be a movie review for you guys. Now, I know I told you guys that I'm not going to be doing movie reviews all month, but you know what? I had the time. I started watching this movie last week, and I told myself I'm going to finish it right now. I'm going to finish it, and I did. Luckily, I finished it because I want to put out some movie reviews, okay? There were a couple movies that were leaked on the Solar movie that I really wanted to see, and this was a movie that I definitely really want to see. This is a movie I want to see for a while. This is going to be my movie review for The DUFF. Now, The DUFF was a movie that I essentially did not want to see at first. I thought it looked dumb. I thought the plot was stupid. I thought it looked like your typical teenage comedy. However, reviews started to come out and people started comparing it to other really great high school movies like Mean Girls and things like that, and I'm like, it can't be that good. But after watching The DUFF, I have to say, I loved this movie. I really did. I love The DUFF. Overall, The DUFF was a great movie. I think it really takes a new twist on the typical teen comedy, which I definitely really enjoy. But let's get to the plot of The DUFF, because I really do love the plot. I think it's actually a very funny plot, and we're going to get into it. So, basically, the DUFF is about this girl named Bianca Piper, who she is this very smart teenager, and she kind of goes through a lot in high school, but she has these two friends, Jess and Casey, who are much more popular than her. A lot of people think that they are better than her and things like that, and she also is the former friend of this guy, Wesley, and Wesley has this girlfriend, Madison, who is basically the bitch of the school, and eventually, Jess and Casey get invited to this party, and Madison doesn't. I mean, not Madison. Bianca doesn't, and Bianca ends up going to that party where Wesley basically tells her that to her friends, she is just a duff, aka designated ugly fat friend, or just someone who they just be friends with so they can so that way they can be friends with so that way they can get they can be friends with their friends. That's really why they're friends with her. And eventually, first she takes great offense to this. She's really pissed at them. But eventually, Wesley decides to teach her to, not let this define her and to change herself and to just not let this define her and basically just be her own person. And that's basically the plot of The DUFF. And I think it's a very good plot. I think it's a really good plot for a lot of people nowadays in high school. And I definitely really enjoyed that. Now, let me talk about what makes this movie work. First of all, again, this movie could have been very bad and very generic. And is it generic? No, it's really not. And there are a lot of things that I think really work very well about this movie. It does have one problem, but I'll get to that. And we're first going to get to the acting in this movie, which really is what makes this movie work so well. I think the acting is what, drove this movie home. First of all, Mae Whitman in this movie is Bianca Piper. I've seen Mae Whitman in nothing. I don't watch the Tinkerbell movies. I don't plan on it. But she is fantastic, okay? She really is great. I've never really seen her do anything else besides this, and she's great, I have to say. She has a very bright future ahead of her. I mean, seriously, she is really what made this movie so good, because she's so funny. She really is. I mean, while watching this movie, you really do relate to her character, because the things that she goes through. I mean, she's not the most popular girl in high school. She's not really, she's attractive, I'll say that. She definitely is attractive, but they don't see her as that. They don't see her as that. She's very out of touch. She's very offbeat at points, and it's very funny to see her journey, and she narrates the whole movie, so you really do get to see her perspective, and I think she had such great comedic timing. She had me laughing so much more than I expected to. I didn't expect to really laugh at this movie very much at all, and I think that's just because of how funny Mae Whitman was. That's why this movie works well, because she's so funny in it, and she just works so well, and she was so funny in this movie. I thought she was great. Robbie Amell as Wesley, I thought was also great. He is her childhood friend, and I really love their bonding, I have to say. Some of my favorite scenes in the movie include their bonding. They have such great chemistry in the movie. I mean, you can see that he really does want to help her, and he really does care about her, and I think their chemistry overall was great. I love him trying to help. I love how he was trying to help her change her look and things like that. There's this great scene where she's changing her look, and he's helping her out with that. That whole scene was so funny to see, and she also does end up helping him out so he can pass his science, so he can pass this, science test and everything, but I really liked his character overall, and I liked that eventually he turned out to be a nice guy, because at first she thinks of him as, like, this jerk and a douchebag and not really someone she wants to be around, but he actually turns out to be a nice guy, which I definitely like seeing. Now, my only problem with this movie is Bella Thorne. I'm going to talk about why. Bella Thorne, I think, is a good actress. I think she did a good job in this movie as her character, but my problem is her character, which simply is that she doesn't have much of a character. Madison Morgan, at times, is like Regina George. She is as rude as Regina George, but she doesn't have the heart that Regina George had. If you guys remember, I love Mean Girls for quite a few reasons. One of the reasons is because we care about Regina George so much, and this movie doesn't really get you to do that. It just looks there's this bitchy girl who is very controlling and just wants to be on reality TV and thinks of all these superficial qualities to all these people, and you don't really care about her character. In fact, there are points where I'm just like, can you just go away so we can just focus on Bianca and Wesley? Because I didn't hate her character by any means. I think she's a good character, but you don't really get to care much about her character, and you don't get much development to her character, which really was a big problem for me, because when you have bitchy characters, I want to at least know why they are this way. We don't get very much background on her, and it really kind of just took the movie down a little bit for me. It didn't ruin it too much because she's not in the movie as much as you expect. I thought she was going to be in the movie a lot more. She's really not in the movie as much as you expect, which I enjoyed seeing because I didn't really like her character, and she definitely is my least favorite character in the movie by far. I thought she really was the only thing I did not like about this movie. Allison Janney as Mrs. Piper I thought was great. She is Bianca's mother who who is now going through a divorce, and ever since then she's focused more on work and less on relationships and more on just trying to be a powerful woman. And I thought she was also very funny in the movie. I definitely really enjoyed her character. Ken Jeong as Mr. Arthur I thought was great as well. Some of the things I loved about his character that he's kind of toned down in this movie. You know, Ken Jeong usually is the stereotypical Asian character who's very loud, but he's very toned down in this movie. He did have some very funny stuff, though. I think they did a very good job with his character, and I definitely enjoyed what they did with him overall. I thought he was really funny. Romani Malco as Principal Buchanan stole the show in so many scenes. Any scene he was in, there is this one scene where he has to confiscate all these cell phones because of something that ends up happening to Bianca. That whole scene where he is in his office and all the cell phones are going off, maybe the funniest scene in the movie. I was laughing hysterically at a scene. He has some of the funniest scenes in the movie. He's barely in the movie, but when he's in the movie, he's so funny, and I think he just stole the show in so many scenes. Such a funny character. Skylar Samuels as Jess was also really good. I really liked her character. And also, I like Bianca Santos as Casey. They are, of course, our two friends, and you can see that they really do care about her, but to them, they don't really realize what they're doing, and that's something I like, is that they're not bad characters. They just don't realize that it is hurting her. But one of the things I do like is that she doesn't let this define her either. And so, yeah, the acting overall is really pretty good here, minus Bella Thorne. I think everyone's great. Even Bella Thorne's really good, but the directing here by Ari Sandel, I really like the tone that he went with in this movie. He really portrayed that. Now, this is his directorial debut, I believe. He did do a short film, but he directed this movie perfectly because he really set the tone really well. He set a very good tone for this, and I honestly feel this is a movie that should probably be shown in schools. Now, yeah, it does have quite a bit of swearing and things like that, but I feel scenes from this movie should be shown in schools, and this is a movie that people my age should definitely see, because it's all about not being superficial. It's all about not looking at those cliquey kind of people, and how we should try to be more like Bianca and less like Madison. I think the directing with that was really good. But the thing that also makes this movie work so well is the screenplay, because it's hilarious, and I did not expect to laugh at this movie as much as I did. I mean, I thought this movie was going to have some funny jokes here and there, but I didn't expect it to crack me up. There are some scenes in here I was dying. Some scenes that were absolutely hilarious, and I didn't expect them to be as funny as they was, and I think that's just because of how good the screenplay really was. The screenplay is so funny, this movie, and it just works so well. It drives the movie home so well, and I love that. I think the screenplay was just so funny, and by far one of the funniest screenplays of the year. It's not the funniest movie of the year. Funniest movie of the year is still SpongeBob, but this is still one of the funniest movies of the year. It definitely is going to end up probably being one of the funniest movies of the year, because it already, it really was very funny in that. The cinematography was great as well. Nothing really too much to say about the cinematography. I like what they did with the text on screen. I thought that was really cool when they did that, where they keep showing like different kinds of social media websites. That was really funny. The editing is also really great. This movie goes by so fast, and you're into it the whole time. There's not one point where I was not into this movie, and I think the editing was just really great, and the story that the movie was trying to tell as well, I really enjoyed. And that's one of the things I think this movie does very well also, is that it has a lot of heart to it, and it really tells a great story of not letting those social cliques define you, not letting these certain titles define you, and I definitely really enjoyed that message of the movie. I think they portrayed that very, very well, and they handled it really well, definitely. I think it was really, really good with that, and as I said, the movie goes by very fast, and overall, guys, that's really all I have to say about the Duff. I will say that it has a very, the ending's adorable. I'm going to say that right now. The ending was adorable. I loved it. I thought the ending was definitely really good. The way they ended was overall really good. And also what ends up happening to Bella Thorne's character was great. I love that happened to her at the ending. But overall, guys, I really recommend you guys see this movie. If you guys want to see, I mean, I know there's have been some movies coming out recently that have not been as good, but this is one of the few really good comedies in theaters. If you guys want to see a funny movie, see it with a bunch of friends, it's totally somewhere where you go out with your friends, have a good time, see it. It's awesome. It's a great movie. It's hilarious. I loved it. And I just didn't expect to like it as much as I did. I really feel that this is going to be looked as a classic from now. You know, from years from now, this can be looked as a cult classic. I really do. I mean, it has that sort of twist on the genre. That's what a good teen comedy does. It does what Mean Girls does. It sort of makes fun of the teen comedy genre at points. It really does, because the way it does that. There are times this reminded me of Awkward, which I also really enjoyed. It's a major plus in my book, and you can definitely tell the director was definitely very inspired by Mean Girls and used that to set the tone for this, which was really good as well. But it does have its own style, which I also really enjoy. Which is something I was worried about. I was worried that the movie wasn't gonna have its own style, and it does have its own style, which is great, greatly appreciated, and I love that. But that's basically my review of the Duff. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think of this movie. If you have seen it, overall, I loved it, and I really hope you guys do check it out, because it is a very good movie, and I'll see you guys in my next video. I'm going to try to put more movie reviews out today and tomorrow, and I will get my Vampire Diaries review up probably tomorrow, because I want to watch more movies today, and I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be, as I said, for another movie review. So I'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye.